Sure, I don't know anything about. I've never done such a thing. We're live now on Rumble and X and YouTube. Unfortunately, I'm going to be staring down at my screen because the other screen isn't working. Last week the internet wasn't working. This week the internet seems like it's working. So we're trending in the right direction, I believe, as far as I can tell.
Oh,
Ryan was just finishing up some dinner.
I have chocolate chips.
Eve has a tub. Eve has an entire tub of chocolate chips. I don't know what she plans on doing. I don't think I can trust her as a producer because she's going to be eating chocolate chips and then I'm going to have a chocolatey keyboard. I guess we're going to do what we got to do, as we've always
It's better than the other type of sticky keyboard, David.
done. Fuck it, we'll do it live, Ryan. Ryan, we have a lot of stuff to go through. I know you have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff. It was a busy week. Sometimes it's not busy and then we just bullshit. But this week, it was a busy week. We have a couple of things. We have the
busier than assassination.
Technically,
David.
We have kind of a female, kind of not a female. Is a world champion boxer now, I guess. There's a lot of stuff's coming out about Mr. Beast. Conveniently, right after the Kris Tyson thing, I have thoughts on this. There's a man at BBC. His name was, I don't know if it's his name is spelled where it's Huw. Is it Huw Edwards? He was a BBC guy. He just got charged with all types of child porn because he's a creepy BBC guy. Massachusetts, we're going to talk about. They have a bill to remove the word father from birth certificates. Kyle Rittenhouse, he went on he put a little video there saying to write in Ron Paul, and then he changed his mind. That was kind of a shitstorm on the internet for a little while. Ryan, I got a video of NFL stadiums, specifically Dallas, but I'm sure not just Dallas, doing facial recognition software, and it's the video is kind of creepy, gives serious distant vibes. I think we have to talk about worldwide elections. I don't know if we didn't really touch on Venezuela all that much last week, but there's some serious election rigging going on globally, and I think that's it's election season, right? And we have to talk about political violence again, because I'm sick of hearing that there's political violence is unfounded in our nation's history. Other than that, we got Ryan's record like we always have, and we have what Ryan has, which I'm not sure what Ryan has. He just said he has a lot.
Yeah. See, David, unlike you, who doesn't get paid for this program.
Are you back?
Can you hear me? Can you not hear me? Oh my god. Am I live?
I can hear you, but you disappeared and now you're back. You're there and live. Yeah, well, we're all live, Ryan.
Well,
I can't be live with you not being live. Gas station.
I swear to God.
We're forward, but that's only if you have a card, and I didn't know I didn't have a card, so.
Where did you go?
Gas station.
Yeah.
No.
Low key, it's so funny watching you guys just like.
Well, it already happened. It wouldn't matter. I'm not going back.
So fucking... I love it.
Ryan, what did you? What you have stuff? You said you have stuff. What do you want to start with? You want to start with the boxer?
Yeah, we gotta. Well, cream pie cereal or boxer, David? Go boxer. Go boxer.
Okay. So listen, for people who haven't watched the Olympics, and I don't blame you if you haven't, the champion women's boxer right now, it's tricky, and I want to be accurate, Ryan. Of course, we always want to be accurate. It's not technically a man. It has a Y chromosome. So consider that whatever you want to consider that.
A girl.
It's basically a man.
Isn't that what we're considering?
Yeah, basically, a man is being a woman at the Olympics in boxing. People are. It's tricky because it's not like it's trans. This is tough. It's not a trans person, right? This isn't a man who said he wanted to become a woman.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the very rare instances where this is a person who is not male but not really female. It's intersex is what you would consider it scientifically. There's a lot of masculine traits though that would give this person the edge. And they definitely have the edge. They were beating the shit out of women, and it's one of the women who lost said she's never been hit in the face so hard in her life. This is a very bizarre thing. But people are, I want to be clear though, people are wrong on this in a lot of ways. Because some people are saying it's a trans person and it's a man beating up a woman, and technically no. And some people are saying, no, it's just a woman, and it's not. They have a lot of the same images a man would have against a woman in a physical sport, such as they have stronger bones, faster reflexes, higher testosterone levels. So this isn't a really fair fight. In fact, this person was banned from the international, I think it was the international boxing. They were banned from international boxing because they failed the test to qualify them as a woman. So there's people on the internet right now going all over the place saying that there's no unfounded. It's unfounded to say this person isn't a woman, but there's tons of events, and the Olympics looked over it. They looked past it. And now you have somebody who is in fact, the top two people who competed were very similar in this aspect. So Ryan, I don't know what do you do if in a weird situation like this, the International Boxing Federation came up with a solution? They said, no, this isn't a woman, and that they called it that, but the Olympics looked past it. Ryan, what would you do in this situation?
Go on DraftKings and bet all my money on this person.
Well, I think the odds weren't very great for you'd have to spend like dollars to make 30, because believe it or not, there were a lot of people who were betting on this person.
Why, David? Did they have an unfair advantage that it would just be such a mulligan? You know what the real shame is, Dave? You kind of like started putting it together or whatever.
Ryan, you are like
what? I'm not even here. I have two Davids.
No, your face is very still, but your voice. Well, that's interesting. Your face is still, but your voice is in motion. So it's interesting. I guess keep talking. We'll see how this goes.
Look at it's like an audio book.
Now you're not talking either.
It's like an audio book. And then I turn the page.
Well, it's kind of like an audio book.
Yeah. So yeah, Dave, you kind of highlighted it earlier. The fact that
what do you do?
What do you do is you test her fucking testosterone, and you test everybody's testosterone, right? If we're saying that they have male chromosome, you would assume that they would have elevated testosterone, which we obviously know that's how they
have a Y chromosome.
She's not
they have a vagina, allegedly. I haven't seen.
Whatever. Test the T then. If your body is giving you, and that's probably how they said that the international boxing thing when they did some kind of blood test, because it was some kind of medical test that required blood testing. That's the only way they can really tell.
As far as I could tell, it wasn't based on testosterone level. It was just simply because they had a Y chromosome.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Test the blood. You should do this to all athletes. Test the fucking blood and see where their T levels fall. And if this person does have we'll say average T levels of more male competitors, maybe you should fight with guys. And that's me saying this on simply the fact of I know as a man that there's stronger men than me. And if you were to probably take their T, they probably have more T than me. And I just feel like even some of these premier female athletes, their hormones and everything else, they may even have elevated T's that they could technically fight with men. But does it seem like an unfair advantage? Because you could do the bone density test on them very quickly. I mean, obviously, I don't want to say anything, but she kind of looks like those look like a male. Oh. And do they have both parts? Does he just have a penis? Do we actually know? Yeah, we should ban these people. I mean, honestly, look, here's the thing.
I'm not good at find where to go. Why'd that happen?
Yeah.
All right. I don't have screen. I pulled it up real quick here.
Gender role boxers in Maine, Khalif, and Yu Ting are destroying women's sports.
Lin Yuting are destroying women's sports, claims head of the Russian-led IBA.
Did they say what was the criteria that they disqualified?
Who banned the fighters from last year's World Championships?
Like, what was the metric that they banned them
on?
Declared I am a woman. What is a woman, though? I was told, like, what is a woman?
Yeah. Well, as long as you declare it.
Yeah.
I found an older article where they were talking about it, but they never got into it. The only thing I could find is that they specifically tested and found that she had a Y chromosome. And this person doesn't necessarily look particularly feminine. If I'm, this person has. Listen, I don't. You can't see it, but you've seen this person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is them right here.
Like, the arm's even like a man. Look at the arm, Dave. Like the.
But it's not really based on looks, to be honest. It's not. It's
not.
based on the fact that they have a
100%.
Y chromosome.
Yeah, I seen it put in actually like a comment somewhere that, like, if we were to bury this person and everything would melt away and you test their bones, they'd find XY and believe it would be a man. You know. It's interesting. I don't know. This is, what's whack is that
Buff Mike says it's a woman with high testosterone.
100%. 100%. So fight with boys.
Yeah, but
test their.
Sure.
But the
not
difference
quite.
Is the bone density is literally
quite high enough.
I thought we had plastic balls. The problem is there is other metrics than just he. Like, the bone density of a man is higher than that of a woman on average. In even 60-year-old men have higher bone density than 30-year-old women in some scenarios. Like, we're actually talking about, like, you can measure things in biology. For the people that say trust the science, we're trusting science. And this isn't this is the thing too that's kind of been sucked into this, is the whole trans debate. It's actually not about trans people in general. It's just literally about, like, what metric are we going to have if men or transgender people can be with girls? Because once again, we're not seeing trans athletes go fight men. Okay, we're not seeing women becoming men to go fight men, because it's impossible. It's not going to happen. And the only real look. There was the soccer game between the women's Olympic team and young boys, and the boys beat them. Maybe they didn't try so hard or whatever. I don't care. The point is, like, we know.
Yeah, it was the under 15. I think it was the under 15 boys team.
Yeah, beat
the women's soccer team, the national.
Yeah. And there's videos of, like, the dudes juking out all of the whole team by himself. Like, we're talking, there's a different level of things. And the problem is it takes something violent like this to prove to people in the modern era that men and women are not the same. And that is fine. But to say otherwise, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to your children if you have them. You're lying to your girlfriend, telling your girlfriend that she can just go up to a guy and do some kind of jujitsu move, or, like, hit him hard enough or kick him in the balls. Like, you have no idea how strong guys are. Like, you really kick me in the balls. I fucking dare you. Like, it's not going to drop me to the ground. It's just not happening. There's no pepper spray.
No chance.
There's no pepper spray. There's nothing.
The only advantage women have is usually men won't hit women back. Well, that's a great equalizer. Ryan, I don't know if you're disappeared on other people's screens or just mine. Do you try out? I think you're a black screen right now.
That's interesting. Well, they're clearly trying to shut down the program, Dave.
Yeah, it's. Hey, you're back.
And then I'm gone. Hey. Yeah, no, this is that's the thing. Like, it takes it because if it was in soccer, or if it was in swimming or all these other ones, you'd be like, yeah, like, it's just not fair. We're losing. No, we're actually, that girl could have fucking died. Like, we have to watch, kids are going to be watching the Olympics. We're going to watch fucking death because we as adults can't look at each other and be like, this person is living in fantasy land. Like, what this test, we have to figure out, we got all these better metrics you want all these testing for COVID, but you're not even testing these athletes to see if they're comparable. Like, you have the technology to test this
Well, they would.
person.
The thing
to
that's
see where
interesting is they
rate.
would test. They would test, like in men's competitive sports, they will test for certain things to see if your testosterone's off the chart, they know you're taking some type of, typically, like if it's outrageously high, they know it's some type of testosterone booster the king, and that's giving you an unfair advantage. And that's over other men who have high testosterone to be versus women who have, I mean, essentially none, right? What is the advantage you would have is so tremendous. That's why this person is just running through the competition. It's not even close. And I knew this, and of course, they're claiming that it's hateful or whatever. But the facts are the facts. The science is the science. You can't just let this person go in there and obliterate everybody. I mean, that's insane.
And the real problem is this is the whole problem with the gender dynamic that we face, especially as men. But this is a girl problem as well. Girls are really thinking, because it's about women, that they're going to tell us about men. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, like, when you do have more testosterone, or if you have naturally higher testosterone, or if you start taking testosterone, like, it's so fucking powerful, dude. Testosterone is literally the thing that drives men to have sex. Like, it's literally driving me to, like, want to conquer whatever I have to do to get my end result. Like, it's giving me, I heard it put by a sex therapist in a podcast this week that, like, the beauty in men that we need to embrace is that our actual sex drive is of creation, and it's out of lust. And it's out of, like, our bodies actually physically propel us towards shit. And women don't have that as much. It's more emotional driven. Like, the way they feel drives their behavior. When men are literally driven by our chemicals, we're literally driven by our T levels. Our mood, it affects women obviously with their estrogen, but I think our mood is more detrimental based on our chemicals. Like, if a man has a chemical imbalance, it may be almost worse than a woman having a chemical imbalance, because we are so reliant on those chemicals to drive us. I know everybody is. I'm just saying, I mean, our testosterone is literally tied to your manhood, and we're seeing what, like, actual genetic, biological, measurable hormonal chemicals and the difference in them on a boxing ring that children are watching. Think of the kids trust the science. That's you.
I don't know if you remember, but this happened years ago in UFC, where with Cyborg, and Cyborg was a man that went through some basic steps and started identifying as a woman, and went into the woman's, I don't think it was actually UFC, but it was anime, and Cyborg just started just absolutely, like, I'm pretty confident he cracked a woman's skull, and it was in the name of sport and equality and equity. So
yeah, it was Ultimate Fighter, I think, was actually,
take that for what it is.
Yeah, but that's exactly it, and that's actually where Rogan.
I don't
first
remember if
started
it was actually
flack.
the UFC, because there's different subcategories.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. Like, we're honestly it's not the only time, because our grandparents knew that boys and girls can't play sports together, or there would be no women in sports. Because once again, if you look at, like, Serena Williams, even look at the Simone Biles, or whatever her name is, not the downgrade. Like, she's amazing, most decorated athlete. It's amazing in gymnastics, gold medalist. I watch all her performances. They're fucking amazing. She's got, like, a good story. She's been through adversity. I support the whole, that's what we talk about in the program, and mindset and getting over shit and just getting through your stuff and being amazing. Like, literally textbook definition. She's a freaking inspiration to all the people. But I bet you if you were to take her stat line or some of her stat lines, compare them to men, the men are stronger, they flip faster, they do. And it's not a disparage to her. It's just there's a difference. And you're only going to see the difference when it comes to violence, when you're watching them beat the shit out of each other. It's sad. And you know what? If this is it in boxing, David, what is it in warfare? This is the other thing nobody's thinking about, because the sports that we watch are actually simulations of warfare. They're our modern Coliseum, because we don't deal with the same struggles that our ancient ancestors did. We need to be distracted with the violence of the day, which is modern sports. Football is the closest thing to gladiators that we have other than UFC. And That's why they make all the money. That's why it's a distraction. But like it goes without saying that we should have a long time as adults.
That's a
like,
good
put an
question
end to
because
this
they
shit.
just recently came out stating that women had to enlist in the draft. So unfortunately, we're going to find out what the difference is. Now there's already women.
The
overseas,
difference is
there's already women.
Yeah,
in the
and
military.
women. It's not that women can't do it, but if you have a whole squadron of women, imagine that on their fucking period, dude. It's just, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna. Unless you have women stop having their periods, man. Like it's just not. And once again, our sports are a simulation of the most violent shit on earth, which is killing each other in warfare. And then we're telling, like you said, Dave, same time they're promoting warfare while we're in wars, but we're at the Olympics with Russian athletes. There was the selfies taking pictures of the North and South Koreans.
No Russian athletes. Don't worry, they're not allowed. They'll be there.
No, David, but the Chinese ones are.
You know the other thing that's in. Well, sure, yeah, no, they didn't invade Ukraine, right? He asked that, and I thought it was interesting too. But like Russia, all these nations are at war, and Russia's not allowed to be there. But whatever. I don't know. That's a good point, and we talked about it in the past too. Like, I don't. We slightly differ on this. I don't particularly necessarily have an issue with women in the military, but what I do have an issue is when they lower the standards.
I have an issue with women in the military. If my daughter can get drafted to go fight a fucking
I think if
war,
you want that standard and well, I have an issue with the draft period, but I'm saying somebody choosing to be in the military. But the problem I have with it is that they lowered the standards to get women in the military. Now, if she can run 5 miles and 20 minutes over the stairs and do 100 pull-ups just like everybody else, then if you met the criteria, you met the criteria. What I don't like is that they say, well, instead of doing 100 pull-ups because that's very difficult, why don't you just sit there and dead hang for 30 seconds? It's like, well, that's not quite the same thing, is it? And it's more a problem. Buff Mike just said it here. Warfare is death, and that's right. It's life and death. There is no
it's President
greater
Trump getting
risk
shot
than
David.
going into war.
It's President Trump getting shot because of people not being able to do the physical minimal requirements. I was on the New York State Police standards for what it takes because I told you guys about the police officer thing, and I've been looking into it and all the testing and all the stuff and the fees and all the shit and testing my college, all the point. There is a physical requirement of doing sit-ups, push-ups in a 1.5 mile run, and they have different standards for women than they do for men. It's also broken down by age group, so there is an age difference, and there is also 50 percentile and 70th percentile numbers. So it is a diverse range, though it is probably still like a high standard relative to the average population. Like the average police officer, even if it is lower standards for a girl, even the lowest standard of a female is probably higher standard physically than the average 9 out of 10 Americans, basically. Which I would like to think that's, but yeah, like example for 20 to 29-year-olds, the top percentile is 45 sit-ups in 1 minute, 41 push-ups in a minute, and run 1.5 miles in 10 minutes and 59 seconds. So
it took 1.5 miles in 10 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah, that's moving, dude. That's moving.
Yeah, and it's not slow, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, that's
moving. Listen, we want to get into I have some things about Mr. Beast. The timing of it seems curious. For people who don't know, Mr. Beast, of course, I think he's the most subbed to person on YouTube. And what is it, 300 million subscribers or something? But that's on YouTube. And listen, we technically go on YouTube, but we don't really particularly want to. There's a better app out there. So I want everyone to make sure to download the Rumble app. Once you download it, search my channel and follow the channel directly on the app. Our channel, of course, is December 1773, or you can find us on the weekly show. This will make sure that you get a notification every time we go live. Listen, click the link, description, pinned live chat, download the Rumble app on your phone. It's free. If you prefer to watch us on the big screen, it's also available for Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, Roku, LG, and Samsung TVs. All you need to do is just search for Rumble. Rumble is by far the best option. It's the only person fight for. I don't even think X is, quite frankly.
David, I don't understand why you just can't put the QR code on your side for one of the ad reads. It's just like I don't understand.
Well,
I
accidentally clicked on it. I was gonna put it on the right side. I accidentally hit left. You know, I get my left and my right confused. So I've been seeing a lot. Eve's been following this way more than I am.
Bro, I've watched so many videos on this.
I've been seeing this a lot, and I can't help but think the timing is not coincidental.
She should never be on camera. I just
There
love she pipes
has
in.
been
I've been seeing
lot
so many videos.
videos that have come out about that you're not on camera.
Why?
He just thinks it's funny. So there have been a lot of videos that have been coming out about Mr. Beast and some of his certain practices that people out of the blue think are not great. And I can't help but think this comes literally like a week after the Kris Tyson thing, where, and by Kris Tyson thing, I mean he's a pedophile. I just can't help but think all this stuff that's coming out is nothing but coverage. And maybe I'm wrong. There's some videos coming out way better than I would. People don't like his, I would call it just marketing practices. Why is that off? Can you producer this light back on?
I don't know. You didn't notice it just turned off.
Well, I noticed it's dark, but for whatever reason, I thought it was that one. Can you just?
I don't have the thing.
It's right there, just right there. It's literally you have to take 3 steps over.
Yeah, but I got to take all this out. I was playing a game.
All this out. It's a headphone. I don't think this is gonna work. It's on the other side of that. There it is.
I love watching the civil
there it is.
The civil conflicts.
You're welcome.
The producer has completed their first major task. They have turned the light back on. That turned itself off for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It did it like 5 minutes ago.
I'm trying to
I just noticed it was very shadowy on my screen. Yeah, that's right. Where was I? Oh yeah, Mr. Beast. I consider it marketing practices, but you know how he was running like lotteries and stuff on his page to grow his channel. Whatever. I mean, we're not ever going to run lotteries to grow our channel. I'll just read Rumble ads and
fucking stifle Ryan
Get 1
with
cent.
all the money.
oh, with that. Well, right, listen, Ryan. I'm worried Ryan's starving himself to death. We went to go live and he was eating something. He was really shoveling it in there.
It's fucking hungry, bro. Fucking burning candles at all ends, David. I have to make candles and burn them at the
And
same
do you
time.
think?
I mean, I'm so hated by the internet, David. I
Ryan,
can't
do you
even
think-
have a stream with my face move. I have to just be a still image with audiobook run behind me. A Ryan book.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Hey, it's Joe. Joe said there are civil conflicts. Well, maybe we should just have domestic disputes on air.
Oh,
You can't beat my ass. Why do you think that?
Yo, I got
The only advantage you have is that I would literally never hit a woman.
I have Dave
wouldn't do
stock
it.
and Rumble that she wins.
I know you would. That's the advantage women have. I have on several occasions that if she was a man, I would hit her.
Well, your son thinks you already do hit me, so.
That's true. He did say that.
Yo, I will tell you, I have had a female get in my face before. It's not easy. Like, you know, I should punch you. Like, you should get
The thing is that
Ryan, don't
punched.
you have like 30 sisters?
well,
Yeah, and they all should get
You
punched in
literally
the
have
fucking
30
head.
sisters. Just
Yeah, and they all should get punched. You know how many times?
listen,
the
paper
one time I
mache
actually
Jesus was
able-
busy.
Yo, my dad, camouflage Jesus. There was one time I actually got to hit my sister in front of a cop, but I'll save that for another time. But yeah, no, they should get punched in the face for their silly ass shenanigans. She punched me first.
You know, I've talked about
for the
this
record.
before, but like, there's a certain
Don't you have 30 sisters?
there's a certain thing that shapes you. There's something that shapes you as a man. You go through life knowing that at any point, if I run my mouth enough, this man will punch me in the face, and it has to resort to violence.
Yeah.
It shapes the way you act. Like you know you can't do certain things because you know, like if I step out of line, it's going to be violent, and that's like okay, you prepare for that, but you don't have to do that as a woman. You don't go through your life preparing for violence, knowing that if I say the wrong thing, I'm going to get punched. It's different. It's very different.
Do you think girls don't beat each other's asses?
Yeah, but they can't beat each other's asses that well. That's why the person who won the women's championship is a man.
With one punch. He did punch her one time.
Sorry, intersex YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. It was the hardest punch I've ever felt in my life, is what that person said.
One punch. It's fucking
Ryan, let's go back
punch,
to Mr. Beast.
Mr. Pedophile? Certified
You don't have
boy,
to know.
certified pedophile.
Yeah, well, listen.
Die, fuck him up. I'm gonna do my stuff. Trolling like a bitch.
I love that Ryan is just a still image. You don't have to know the specifics about what's going on about Mr. Beast. Here's what I know about Mr. Beast. I haven't seen a single thing that can. I don't know if it's just because of the delay. I haven't seen a single thing that can tie Mr. Beast to the Kris Tyson thing. But just, you don't, like I said, you don't need to know the specifics, but knowing that Mr. Beast is getting attacked a week after Kris Tyson has come out, do you think that is coincidental, Ryan?
Well, no.
Dave, you think Mr. Beast is fucking
Is he
kids?
there?
Is that what you're saying?
He might not be there.
You think Mr. Beast is tapping kids?
No, I don't think he is at all. I think there's no way to tie him to that.
Here, wait. I'll give you the 30-second rundown. So, friend was guy. Friend is now girl. Friend
Still a guy.
Friend.
You can't.
He has Y chromosomes. You can't change
They were
chromosomes.
Unless
you're a boxer.
A bunch of minors like in their chat. Some inappropriate pictures in the Discord server where there were minors, knowing there were minors. Like commented like sick comments like, "Oh, she's only 14." What else did they do? I don't know. They were super sketchy. But Mr. Beast knowing that they're being sketchy is what I don't like. Like the lottery stuff, yeah, it's kind of shitty. But people are really calling him out on it now because of the other inappropriate shit going on. Like, you can't go into your friend's house and see literal, like, child porn on the wall and just be like, oh, well, that's awkward.
See, that's where the stuff Mr. Beast was doing, he's been doing for some of these videos are years old, and no one ever once called him out on it until now. I can't help but think they're trying to. I always throw the they around. I think
Das Jews, David.
Kris Tyson is being protected. No, not Das Jews. I never think it's the Jews. You know that. I'm not on board with the Jew thing. Did you?
Yo, Dave's got the Israel connection with his sister.
See,
but I'm supposed to believe that's
Huw
where all
Edwards
the money's going, David.
Live on air.
That's where all the money's going. You are funneling my Rumble dollars to
it
the
goes
Jews
everywhere.
in Israel. Yeah, David. Very cool. Yeah, the Israel money goes everywhere, David. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Free Palestine, bro.
No, the Americans' money goes everywhere. The Huw girl got tested live on air, and it turns out she's like 97% Jewish. And now all the people are like, see, the Jew, she's a Jewish plant, which I knew as soon as I saw that. I'm like, I know where people are going to go with this. She's the worst plant ever, by the way.
She's a crack baby. She was like dogging her mom.
She's a crack baby?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd dog my mom too if I was a crack baby.
I have been seen. I have life. I am live. We do it live. We do it live. Trolling like a bitch, ain't you?
You are
tired?
live, yeah.
Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor.
You're ultra choppy. I don't know. Here's what I know about the Mr. Beast thing, and it really boils down to the fact that I don't think it's coincidental that he's getting hate now. I think that they're trying to brush all this shit under the rug for Kris Tyson, my opinion. And they haven't connected Mr. Beast to the pedophile thing at all that I've seen, and maybe it comes out, who knows.
Are they expecting Mr. Beast to be canceled and crumbled because his friend is into subjugated things? Like,
I don't know. People made a big deal recently because Mr. Beast's most recent video had a pile of dislikes. I mean, still had way more likes than dislikes. But it had the ratio is a lot different. Though I think the answer, and did you try to say anything? Did you do anything? He generically went out and said, "Oh, I got private investigators on it or whatever." But we talked about forever ago when Kris Tyson was in the process of transitioning. We said, like, me personally, I don't like. There's no way I would just let one of my best closest friends just transition. I would immediately try to get them some form of help, something. I mean, like, if you tried to transition, I'd be like, you see help first before you just chop your dick off and take a bunch of cancer-causing estrogen. You're still screen again, and maybe quiet. I'm not sure. Still there? Not there? Not there. Still there? Big?
It sounds like he's there.
Well, he was there again. Back? He's moving again. If he logs out, logs back in, he moves again.
Yeah,
They just don't want me to be on the internet.
I don't know.
That's all there is.
I'm not sure.
Don't
that's
matter
the
what I
problem.
do. I could fucking get
We
net
need
zero,
an
tech
IT specialist.
Zero,
We're
Let
gonna
zero, Met zero, Flex zero. It don't matter. They don't want me on it.
Eve's going to be producing, but we need an IT person. Joe,
I think I'm gonna produce it. I can't even figure out which one of you is choppy.
well, that's why we need an IT specialist. I'm thinking Joe. We can bring Joe in.
Why can't you just be your producer?
Because
It's the Spectrum internet, is what Buff Mike said.
Yo, she was able to give us a 30
What Spectrum, Ryan? Do you have Spectrum?
Of course, I have Spectrum. It's fucking monopolized, David.
I have Verizon, and it's probably, I would imagine Verizon internet's way faster if you're not in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I mean, I could do an internet
Just a guess.
test,
Oh, but they also are sexually assaulting another transgender person.
Yeah, we talked about that last week already.
No.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
We did. The one who got just kept sucking them off over and over again.
Yeah, you didn't talk about
We
that
did talk
last
about that
week.
last week.
Was I not down here?
Yeah, you were
You missed all
down
the
here.
sucking off.
Remember, the
talk.
internet was all last week, just like it is this week. Can the chat who watched, can you remind Eve that we talked about the transgender sucking the other transgender off constantly? This show is really a wild show. I don't know if people realize
Well,
that.
true, that's what happened. And then they were like, no, it was sexual assault.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. We're on YouTube. I forgot we're on YouTube. She sucked her dick repeatedly. That was for YouTube. Joe has Verizon. Joe, how do you feel about Verizon internet? Is it pretty decent where you're at?
The fucking. That's just 1 week of news. Yeah, this is like 1 week of stuff. They were just on Chronic 69. Just fucking.
Mike says it's weird like fucking a couch. Mike, just to be clear, I also personally think JD Vance is extremely weird. I really do. Yeah, JD Vance refrigeration. I do think he's I think he's super weird. But he's not as weird as somebody who cuts their dick off and says they're a woman. Yeah, he said he used to fuck couches. He'd like lube them up and fuck them. The Trump vice president guy. Refrigeration, yeah. Bob Vance. Refrigeration.
Why is Ryan laughing?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't know he used to fuck a couch.
He actually admitted to that though. Like out of his mouth. Said,
Maddie, you have a bra.
Kind
I
of.
don't want
You
you.
want more coffee?
No, I'm okay. I don't need you on camera with
and
your
he just
bra.
had like a little kid with little.
I can't help but want to play the Chappelle Show clip. Fuck your couch.
Oh my. Fuck Van's couch. Yo, why would you admit to that?
Yeah, I don't know. He is weird.
You lie. You lie about insider
Joe's-
trading and siphoning off the fucking global assets to Chinese nationals, and you lie about artificial intelligence replacing my job, and you get You've lied about Social Security for 50 years, but you won't lie about fucking a couch. You people are psychopaths. What the fuck is wrong with you? You lie about Nancy Pelosi's husband lied about the tranny, beat him up with the hammer. They lie about everything. You can't admit to not fucking a couch, though. You have a great imagination. I love that. Like, was there no girls? Like, dude, people try to have sex with animals before they try to fuck inanimate objects. This is gnarly. You could have cut a hole in a watermelon. You didn't see that in that movie? Was it Good Luck Chuck? God bless America. Fuck the
What movie did?
I don't know. The guy has like he fucks a watermelon.
Who has this detector? I have a smoke detector and a CO2 detector.
No, you don't. There's not batteries in them.
Would you take them out?
Yeah, we could.
How are they beeping if you took them out?
One was beeping continuously. I think
They're hardwired into your
There's
electrical panel,
one in the.
David.
Well, no. No. This house is from 1900. Nothing's hardwired. They're driven off batteries.
It's software.
Well, it's not wired at all. It's wireless.
It's just wireless fucking houses. All right, David. Where you get energy from? The earth.
I don't know. Generate energy. Listen. From the earth. What I did is I coiled a bunch of magnets together and I sent it wirelessly. Can you see this?
Huw Edwards admits child abuse image charges. Huw Edwards admits child abuse image charges.
Who? I still don't know. Huw.
Who's this dude? Who's?
He spelled it wrong. It's supposed to be HUE.
I wonder. No, David. No, David. Is this the guy the BBC guy? Yeah. No, they didn't spell his name wrong, David. They did it so it's not in the headline fast. Yeah. So they didn't misspell it on accident.
His parents named him HUW so he wouldn't come in the headlines. Whoa, I should rephrase this. So he wouldn't be on the headlines.
No, I thought you said that.
Later,
I thought BBC misspelled his name.
Later, he was having child porn. No, I think his parents spelled it wrong because it's HUW. Nobody on earth is HUW except this guy.
That's my bad. I apologize. Well, fuck BBC anyway. They do shit like that.
Huw Edwards admitted 51 decent images of children which had been sent to him by another man on WhatsApp. The Westminster Magistrates Court heard. They included 7 Category A images, the most serious classification, 2 of which showed a child aged between 7 and 9. Police later revealed to Edwards was a convicted pedophile. Until last year, Edwards was one of the main presenters on BBC's One News at 10 and often fronted coverage of major national events. Crazy. You know, we always get told that it's like a mass wild conspiracy that there's just like all the elites are a bunch of pedophiles. We're told that's a Pizzagate, that's severe, that's QAnon, right? That's all these things. How many more times do we need to constantly see people in these upper positions who are gross pedophiles before we start admitting that? If you're in an elitist position, you are more likely to be a pedophile than a Jew.
You're probably also more likely to be Jew the higher up you are in these organizations. Yo, fuck Ben Shapiro. I swear to God. I hate that guy. I hate that guy at this point, man. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Isn't it interesting that like this guy was on TV for all these years and like Taylor Swift can get her AI image porn out of the internet like that, but the BBC headline news reporter for decades had the most explicit images. And these are just what he's admitted to. Let's be honest here. And if he's looking at images, I'm sure he's done more than just images. But then this makes me also think, David, back to your grand conspiracy, because clearly this is an episode of
You're saying
Veep,
he's not
David.
just looking?
Clearly this is Veep, David. Well, if he is a news reporter, he probably knows how investigations happen, David. I wonder if he just knows a couple people. And hell, let's go even further. He might have a coworker like Jeffrey Epstein that knew some things. Not saying he knew Jeffrey Epstein. I did.
Hey, Ryan, Cold Summer said
these people hang out together.
Cold Summer said he's glad to see us back on YouTube.
Thank you, Cold Summer. You're
we've been on YouTube. It's just garbage.
Yeah. We've been on YouTube. They just keep censoring. And Dave.
We're just
mostly
constantly.
Me. It's me.
Yeah, we just keep getting videos blocked.
Dave gets paid. I get censored. It's just the way it works. But yeah,
probably the Jew blood I have.
Yeah, you do have the Israeli connection. Where was I going with the conspiracy here? Oh yeah, the Epstein thing. I didn't mean that this guy knew Epstein. I mean that the people of this quality of people, as far as quality, I mean that like to fuck around with kids. That quality in their character. They hang around with each other. They know they.
You mean
talk.
Like British royalty, Ryan?
I mean, I wouldn't suggest that they were, David, but probably if I would guess the hardest people to catch being pedophiles would be the guys that are at the tippy tip top of all hierarchy structures. I would argue that it would be hard to prove that a high level people anywhere in any organization, in society, business, government, education, any of these people. I'm sure it would be very hard for anybody to believe that they'd be capable of such things. The difference is we're actually seeing all of this come undone in within the span of a decade.
Eve, do you remember when we watched that Epstein doc and they had I don't remember who it was. Was it Prince Charles?
He never met those girls.
Yeah, he's literally on camera, and the one
Prince Andrews.
It's literally a picture of him with the freaking minor. It's with his arm around her.
Was it Prince Andrews?
Yeah. Prince Andrews, yeah. Because he wasn't allowed in the will.
Isn't that
everything of Queen Elizabeth and
the name for a dick piercing?
Not Albert.
Prince Albert.
Where else are you gonna get quality content like dick piercing? Yeah, no, but for real,
remember, buy your bearskin fleshlights.
Man, it's gotta feel so good in there with their thermal lined plastic fucking outfitted outerwear. No,
better than
I'll
a
tell
couch
you,
for sure.
I'll tell you though, the BB look YouTube. Before you Cold Summer, you might want to go to a Rumble, but look YouTube. BBC knew this guy was doing this. He probably did it on the fucking work computer. Okay. WhatsApp. The WhatsApp. I thought WhatsApp was untraceable, David. It says end-to-end encryption. Nope.
It's just like Bitcoin.
This. Yeah, Bitcoin untraceable until they got the hacker to pay the hacker, and then they tracked the Bitcoin to the hacker and arrested him. The FBI got their Bitcoin back, David. Wow. Let's have a global digital currency, guys. I don't know why we want to get rid of cash. It's so retarded. It's just going to be more freedom. What's more free than making $100? And nobody know anything the fuck about it. I don't understand. People are dumb. They're dumb. You're dumb.
We go back to true bartering.
I mean, dude,
like
we haven't moved past. We haven't moved past gold. I don't know why we think we're gonna just have this electric shit. It's still on gold. I don't care. It's still on gold. We don't use gold as a standard for a currency, which is the problem people say. But the most valuable thing we've ever found is fucking gold. It's the same shit. I'm tired of talking about it. This digital crypto bullshit. And the BBC knew. The people that employed the guy knew. All those people knew. This guy didn't just magically have 80 of the worst photographs you could possibly have in the history of all of humanity, and they just let him go through a WhatsApp messenger. I'd like to think if I can get censored on YouTube for interference in foreign elections and misinformation and medical misinformation and all these other things that they get me and Dave with their AI algorithms that is scanned through the subtitles that are self-generated as I speak every second. So they can have this huge apparatus, but they can't catch this guy with fucking images. And then they're going to print shit like this. I wonder what he didn't want to talk about. Or I wonder what they told him what they were going to do. Or maybe they were just sick of paying him. Maybe this guy, they were sick of having him have all his money. Maybe there's an invested interest. Maybe this guy's a fall guy. I don't know. Go Conspiracyville. They knew. People knew. Look, I'll tell you, everybody knows. They all fucking knew. They spy on everybody. How do they not know, David? I'm told it's to collect terrorism. They only collect my mass metadata and sell it back to me. It was only 10,000 people that got hacked in the AT&T leak, David. Not a third of the country. But this guy's got the worst images ever. You're telling me my fucking iPhone knows that what type of chocolate I have in the background of a photograph? But it took a what? Are you serious? Yeah.
I packed your lunch.
Thank you very much.
It's like our signal chat. I'm sure we have nothing on that. Cold Summer City's putting money on gold. It's not a bad idea. We did something about fairly recently. We talked about gold, and
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I've never bought this.
Ritual,
this was always told.
Finds that he disappeared. Probably his internet. Oh,
sorry, I had to pause it for a second. Dude, I'm sorry. I was always told. They know all the judges. They know all the police officers. They know all the people that do all the worst shit. They have it all in a file. And whenever you don't play ball, they pull up your little black book record, and they scan you, and they will degrade you. They will bankrupt you. They will jail you. They will try to kill you. Sounds familiar, don't it, David? Somebody that is trying to run for president. This is the modus operandi for the average civilian. They know. They fucking know locally. I guarantee you they locally know who brings in all the drugs and everything else too. I'm tired of people acting. They have all this mass metadata. Cheektowaga police said that they could track me from one end to the other by just simply using license plate scanners and red light cameras. And you wonder why you're seeing more speed limit signs with the numbers on them. That thing has a camera and a Wi-Fi feed and is sending your license plate by the nanosecond to Cheektowaga police, but it's supposed to keep me safe. But we have bail referendums out, and we have less police officers than we've ever had.
Did you say there's cameras in the speed limit signs? I mean, I've seen that at the traffic signals before, but do they have them in the actual speed limit signs?
Dude, I will send you a picture, Dave. Me and my daughter one day, we drove around in every red light. It's like where the light is. It's like it almost looks like a big candy cane.
Yeah, traffic. Okay, yeah.
Dude, they're
at the traffic signal. Yep, I've seen those.
They're at every one, though.
They're at every single red light.
They're at every one. And Cheektowaga, I read the article. Yeah, I'm teaching her. Like, you're getting spied on. I tell her that's not normal. It's not supposed to be this way, baby. They're not supposed to just fucking run my goddamn license plate in America, in a free country. Sorry for being a conspiracy theorist. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we just track you from one end to the other. What, are you going to write me a speeding ticket if I get through the light too fast? What are we talking about?
They do that. There's the speed trap
Fuck out of here.
Cameras. They have those in Europe. I don't know how many of those in the United States, but in Europe, those are big speed traps.
Does she have anything she needs to add to this conversation?
No, she's gone.
Ryan, I feel like it's a good time to bring this up because you seem pretty calm and not fired up at all. Massachusetts it actually passed the state in Massachusetts. Bill H4750. It removes the word father from birth certificates. Ryan, what are your thoughts on that?
They're trying to kill men, David.
Nothing like taking the.
You have to destroy men to destroy society. And the first way you do it is you fucking make their balls plastic. The next one is to poison their wife against them. And the third one is to make them think being a dad is a bad thing. This is just Veep, guys. We're just removing father because women self-make babies, right? They just fall out of bed that way. The stork brought the kid. That stork story is for a single mom out there. The stork dropped you off because your dad was a deadbeat. It's bullshit. You know what? I don't even live in Massachusetts, and I don't even care about the state, but they're gonna do it everywhere. Like liberalism, like They're calling it progress. They're removing fathers. They're destroying the paternal line at a legal level. And if I say anything, I'm upset. Conspiracist, a white nationalist. Fucking bullshit. Oh, too bad. I'm a Western colonizer because I think that the paternal line is important and last names need to be held down and passed down to your seed, and your sons should carry your name with honor. Oh, shame on fucking me. Keep putting plastic in my dick, though. There's no chemicals that make it gay either. They just only work on the frogs.
To get rid of women having to put deadbeat dads on.
What was that? What was it?
Buff Mike says it's to get rid of women having to put deadbeat dads' names on the birth certificate.
I don't disagree with that. Look, if that's the case, allow all men to opt out of being fathers. If you can remove the name, then don't come after me for child support. Don't come after me for anything. Kid gets a sore tooth. It's not my kid. You took father off the name. I should be able to walk away too then. I'm not saying I would personally or whatever. This is a different discussion. But if we're talking this is a legal possibility, this is the problem. Men have to carry all the weight of responsibility of the child at a legal level in a lot of cases. You can destroy the man's life. You can take his driver's license. He could be in prison for not paying child support. They can do it for the woman as well. But most cases, the kid goes to the female. As it probably should. Let's be honest. But I think instead of promoting the fact that we can just, I don't know, keep raping fathers, we should at least, people need to take personal accountability. At some point, you lay down with the dude. This happens in my family. I'm not even fucking insulated from this. This is personal shit that I've told my family. You got to take fucking responsibility. You picked him. Well, he lied to me. Well, you believe the liar. Are you gullible? Believe all women. Don't believe all men. It's not that hard. The problem is the men that are honest, you don't believe because it hurts your feelings. Oh, the truth hurts. If you want your feelings not hurt, go date a liar. That's it. An honest man is going to hurt your feelings because the truth fucking hurts. It hurts me. It hurts a man, David. How is the truth not hurt a female? Serious question. As somebody that has 30 sisters, I don't have any problems hurting girls' feelings. And you know what? It's not always a benefit. It's really hard. And I'm probably an idiot trying to fight the feminine energy in the world because it's unfightable. It's beautiful chaos. It's a Jordan Peterson line. Father from birth certificate. If the father's removed, he should be able to remove all legal accountability. He should be able to be basically never contacted again if he wants. If we're able to remove father from that, the father should be able to remove himself to any degree of legality that he wants or can or should be promoted. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Well, here's an interesting question though. Who decides and dictates that the father's name is not going to be on there? Actually, here's another question. I don't know if the bill allows them to choose to remove father from the. That's how I would read it. But who chooses that then? The woman?
Well, honestly, in New York State,
you can have situations where the man wants to be part of the child's picture and doesn't want to be part of the picture, and then she just gets to choose unilaterally that he's not a father.
Yeah, I wonder because in New York State, when you sign, you as a man, basically, I didn't sign any paperwork, but one line that said, "I am the father and I am the father." That. It was a couple pieces of paper, and the mom had to sign everything. I signed all the other paperwork while they were doing whatever, but as far as legality, I probably have 3 lines on medical paperwork that allows me to be a legal custodian for my child. In the grand scheme of things, it's all tied to paternity, the feminine. This is the thing, when you break down, last names are important because it's how you identify the male of the heir. Mostly that's what the West did, right? In the Middle Eastern cultures, prime example is you take the name of your father sometimes. So you'll have like your name, your first name, but your middle name will be your father's name. And that's why it's like Abu Dhabi, Muhammad, Ahmed. Like that's why their names get stacked, right? And I don't know why the West is the way it was. It just naturally developed. But last names is to track paternal lines because like it gets convoluted.
I have met people whose name is like officially legally like Muhammad. Like it's just fucking wild.
Yeah, I went to school with a dude. His name was Ahmed. You know, so
yeah.
But yeah,
so I mean that would be why, but
yeah, it's just like I think more than anything, like maybe Massachusetts and New York are on the same level now because, like I said, my experience. I don't know if this is a good or bad. This probably does help for deadbeat dad scenarios, but you know, I always hear about how like one of the reasons that women are allowed to have such serious choices when it comes to childbearing with men, the excuse is always, what about the deadbeat dads? And we're not hearing about moms that pick really shitty men. Like, honestly, why? Because if you look, a lot of like deadbeat dads have a lot of children. Why is that? Like, really, why are these women keep betting down a guy that has children? And once again, I have personal experience.
I still will say
I literally
one
have
of the
personal
greatest
experience with this.
One of the greatest stand-up bits to this time, still in my opinion, is Dave Chappelle talking about how abortions are running around talking about deadbeat dads. still to this day, in my opinion, one of the funniest stand-up bits I've ever seen. Ryan, everyone remembers Kyle Rittenhouse, right?
Cake. Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, the white, you know,
everyone remember Kyle
armed supremacist,
yeah.
white nationalist.
No. Yeah. It's kind of. So, for people who don't remember, he was the one who crossed state lines. It was it Kenosha? So Wisconsin, I think. Anyways, there was a BLM riot, got attacked. He defended himself, shot somebody.
Against a pedophile.
Another pedophile gone. Who cares?
Super feet, Dave.
He did. He dusted a pedophile. That's great. Kid's a legend. So he went on recently. He went on and posted a video of himself saying that Trump wasn't very good at it, so he's just going to write in Ron Paul. We've actually talked about this. We talked about this with Dr. Mike Termont when he was on, that we've always classified ourselves kind of as Trump defenders, not necessarily supporters, because you know there's certainly unfair attacks, but there's a lot of things that I don't love about him. You know, and the Second Amendment was one of them. He was big on the red flag laws. There was the bump stock ban that got rightfully overturned. So we've never been like the biggest fans in the world, especially you, Ryan, for somebody who's really in the space, who got into the space because of firearms. I mean, he was never the strongest on it.
No, I had a fuck Trump video actually when the bump stock ban happened from the Las Vegas shooting, which I heard Tucker point out, rightfully so, that it is the hardest shooting to get any information on that he's ever heard of. Las Vegas has like one of the most
the Vegas shooting.
Yeah. Las Vegas has like one of the most sophisticated police departments. That's because as far as intel collecting on Earth. It is like one of the most.
That's because one man did not commit that shooting.
Well, I mean, clearly, David, he just lugged thousands of rounds of ammunition up fucking 700 flights of stairs by himself. It only took him 5 minutes. That's weird. Maybe he had just a whole book bag of 30-round magazines. The fucking people are like,
he shot like thousands of rounds in a couple of minutes. Oh, it's the bump stock.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole trained fleet of people up there just whatever. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but the only guy that.
But anyway, he came out.
It's crazy. People gotta die.
He was going to write in Ron Paul. Then he got attacked. He got attacked ruthlessly on social media. So then what he did was he came out and he met with Trump leadership, and he said, "You know what? After I met with Trump leadership, I feel good. I feel like they're going to defend him," and he went back to supporting Trump. I don't know. I feel like he got ripped on hard on social media, so I feel like he kind of backed out of. I don't think he truly met with Trump leadership and then felt good after. I think he just backed out. But either way, that's what he said. I just felt it was worth noting. It wasn't the big news, but it's I don't know. It was interesting to see him go on social media and say, you know what, I'm just going to write in Ron Paul. It was, he certainly got people fired up for sure.
Look, I'll be this as a very strong.
Ryan, I know you're going to love this. I want to get up the real. I didn't hear anything you just said.
I will say this as an advocate for the Pauls. Leave Ron Paul the fuck alone. Let the guy just die and retire. He tried. Just fucking enough. Let him go. Let him help Rand Paul run Kentucky so my boy country can live well in the greatest state in the union when it's freedomized. Whatever. What do you got for me? What am I looking at, David? Cream puff cereal yet? Are we on the cream puff cereal yet or no?
Well, nothing. Hold on. Hold on. We're not even there yet. Hold on.
I cannot wait for that segment. Cream puff cereal.
All right. You see
only
this?
real. I see you, David. Screen's black, and I'll take my whiskey leave. What are we doing here? It's black, David. I see blackness.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Verify the identity of people entering the stadium. You see blackness?
All right, here it is. I see her. I see you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no,
You
it's
see it now?
here.
Okay.
This year, all 32 teams will start using
This
facial
clip
recognition to identify the people entering the stadium. This is a clip that was proposed by the Dallas Cowboys website. It shows how easily.
Anyways, let me pull this up real quick. This is the clip that the Cowboys put on their own website.
Well, clearly, David.
Look at this. They're fucking zooming in. Look at the quality of that camera.
What's crazy is that camera is even better than that. It just downplays it, so you don't think it's better.
Dude.
We're fucked.
That is crazy.
It looks like a beehive. Like you're zooming in on a beehive.
What are you doing?
Well, you can't see it because our screen doesn't work, but I'm watching a video. There's no sound on the video.
See, and here's the thing: like people are like, "Oh, you're in public and all this." It's just like
getting a kiss. This guy spilling his nachos.
Oh, dope! I want to see somebody throwing up.
That's
Where's the guy throwing up?
That is fucking wild.
You definitely know it's a Cowboys game because all of those people look very not excited to be there. So
maybe it was a playoff game. They knew they were already out.
They made it to the playoffs.
Usually. So I'm sure only the NFL is using that technology, though. Also, how do they, Ryan? How did they gather? Even if you can get good imaging of people's faces, how do you then take that face and know who it is based on that image? There must be some type of database somewhere, surely, Ryan.
Like Facebook, David, and Instagram.
Yeah, there could be that.
Or what about those cool AI filters that you can implement in your images, or Tinder, David, that takes a picture of your face so that you can get a little blue check mark so that you can make sure that your pictures really are who you say you are. Even though they have the technology to stop bot accounts, they want you to fucking take a picture to sell your data back to the very AI systems to write the software to spy on me and be able to pinpoint me out of a crowd, David, in 35 seconds because every third step, my weight change is different than everybody else in the crowd. Tell me I'm crazy. China already has this technology. They implement it, and it's part of their social credit score. They can tell if somebody is wearing just their silhouette by who walks with like 99% accuracy. I'm sure they'll just stop at sports stadiums, David. Shopping malls and Walmarts and Targets probably don't use any of this technology. Just when you go to them self-scans, David, they just got that robot sitting there looking at you to make sure you don't steal nothing. It's definitely not taking pictures of everything in the store. But once again, my iPhone knows what kind of socks I have in the background on the floor of my selfie, and I can buy more off Amazon with one fucking circle swipe because AI is so good, right? Right? That's fine, Ryan. Stop worrying about it. The founding fathers would have never made it to Philadelphia to write the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and the Constitution if they had this spy grid against them. If this is what they were up against, they would have never made it. They would have never made the America that we know, that grew into the America we have, because the censorship, what we're battling is greater than the Great Britain fight that they fought. How can you beat censorship at it's Baltimore? Like you say it, they appear. It's Voldemort. You can't say in the movie Harry Potter, they can't say Voldemort because the Death Eaters show up and take him away to go see Voldemort. There's a crux. There's a Hull crux on his name or whatever. A crux. It's like jinxed. Like, isn't that coincidence that we have that system, David, built into the system that they have control of, that's plugged into our political apparatus, is being ran through by our news media companies, is getting the talking points from Silicon Valley heads, because the Silicon Valley heads are actually controlling information, because they're allowing the disinformation to descend on the platforms or not, because they're allowed to pick and choose what they want to be seen, because obviously, we're a publisher.
Ryan, I gotta say,
am I wrong? I don't like. I wish.
I know
Eve
was. She was probably cringing the time we talked about. No, you're not wrong, and no, it's not coincidental. I mean, I can't imagine a system as large as this coincidentally getting put in place. The fact that you have to have everybody's identification, you have to know what everybody looks like to then put in a camera in a facility, like a NFL stadium, to take a picture, reverse image the picture, to know who that person is, to know, God forbid, you have somebody in the stand who maybe they're a felon, they shouldn't be around children. Maybe they just didn't have their COVID shot. Who knows how deep this goes? Maybe they put something on the internet that somebody disagrees
David,
with, and you might have to remove them from the facility. And it's going to go that far. They're doing more with this information than they're leading on.
Where do you stand between Stephen Hawking and Donald Trump, David?
On the AI
they don't
scale
feel bad. These psychopaths do not feel bad because they tell
by the way,
exactly
Stephen Hawking,
what they're doing to you. They do not feel bad. They're doing it. They do exactly. They write books about it. They have fucking bragged about it. They've told you forever. They've never. It's, what's crazy is no matter how far you go back with this shit, it's always the same agenda. That's how you know. They've always told you. They want a control of the human domain. They've never been able to map every inch of the globe before. That's why they love cell phones. That's why the Apple is on the fucking Apple. They call it the Galaxy. Do you understand that? The Galaxy is the other flagship phone. You either have an Apple product, the iPhone, that you are the phone, or the Galaxy. They have your universe. You're the Galaxy. You're the multiverse. The phone's the multiverse for the fucking thing to follow you around. There's more information in your cell phone than in all of your entire house. Like when it comes to personal information, do you know what people can do with your sleep data? Seriously, do you know what people could do with your macronutrients or your blood type, or if you're allergic to certain medicines? Do you know what they could do with the flickering of a blue light screen? But David, I'm told it's only computers that can get phished, right? Even though I've called Apple before, and they've gone in pilot mode.
That sounds like some type of conspiracy, Ryan. Are you saying they could control your minds?
I have called Apple myself, David, and they've done. I think it's called pilot mode or something, and I had to allow her through my Apple ID, which is all the security that Apple creates. I'm supposed to believe is super secure and would never betray me, David, because I spend all this money on the product that doesn't do anything evil, of course.
Like
they just
like WhatsApp
exploit,
or Bitcoin?
Yeah, they just exploit child labor in third world countries for fucking batteries. But they're going to be really good to their.
They're pretty good. They put net on the window so nobody jumps out. So,
well, at least you get to. We'll give you an extra 5-minute lunch. What was I saying? I don't even remember anymore. Goddamn, pissing me off. Oh yeah, there's more information like in your phone. Do you know? Like, I had to allow them into my phone because something
The girl,
was happening.
you let a girl through.
Yeah. It was a girl at Apple. I called her on the phone, and it was their tech support, and I allowed them in my phone, and she was on a MacBook computer, desktop, whatever, in my phone, and I like watched her open apps and like the screen, and she did whatever she had to do and said, are you? So, yeah.
Yeah, they remoted in.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Because this is where everybody gets off the rails with fucking conspiracies, and it pisses me off because you're all idiots. If you really believe that, I do not believe that Mark Zuckerberg is like, fuck that Ryan guy and fuck that Dave guy. I don't actually think we're in a rate like they know my name or know our program. It's written into the code already. That's the problem. Like the procedures are written in to not allow certain things. They're called Smurfs. Edward Snowden talked about it, which is why I got so pissed off about the BBC guy, because they knew that shit was in the software. They know. They just play dumb because they want to be able to selectively enforce it and be able to hedge their bets whenever they need a distraction, because everybody thinks everything's a distraction. It's not a distraction. These psychopaths tell you exactly what they do to you, just like a real psychopath would. Hitler told the people of Germany he was going to exterminate the Jews. Do you think they believed him? They knew what, like, that's the thing. That's why it's psychology. Like, most of the things we battle with all the politics is psychological. It's actually a war for your mind, like Alex said. It's an understatement. There's like a comic book statement to make you try. It's actually underselling how deep it really is. I mean, they like tap into your deepest shadow emotions to trigger you to not like people, or certain musics can hypnotize you, and smells and fragrance can make you gay with chemicals. Don't tell me they fucking can't. I'm not saying all gay people, David, are gay because of chemicals, but they can make a straight man like men by spraying him with chemicals. Fact. But on the conspiracy theories, I don't know how we got here, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm sure we have a itinerary normally on this program when you're not interrupting me with ad reads.
I will say one point for well, what I might do another. One point that you made that I definitely agree with. Hitler did come out and say, that he was going to exterminate the Jews, but he didn't immediately come out and say he was going to exterminate the Jews. What they have to do first, they had to dehumanize them, make them. It's a slow process. It takes a little bit of time, which is now getting sped up through things like social media. How quickly can you make somebody the enemy and dehumanize them? We had people celebrating the fact that Trump was shot. So it's pretty quick. I mean,
Slick Tom from 97 Rock lost his job.
Trump been in the limelight forever, right? And Trump was always universally liked, right? Right up until he ran. Why? That's super weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird that he had TV shows, right? The Apprentice show, right? TV shows. He was loved. He was beloved. He was all over the place. People loved watching the show. People liked Trump's personality. He ran for president, and now he's hated. It's because he's the enemy. They made him the enemy.
I got told by a 20-year-old kid that
and they
Donald
dehumanized him to a point where somebody was willing to shoot him. He wasn't a celebrity.
He told me Donald Trump was not a celebrity. And I said, bro, The Apprentice was on for 11 seasons or something. I said, I knew Donald Trump's name and his face, and I didn't even know he was a businessman. Like, everybody said, you're fired. Yeah, David, it is weird. It's like the zeitgeist of the culture. And you know what? The way the internet is, it's like everybody has PTSD from the fucking meme sharing. They see so many memes that like they get compartmentalized or something. Yo, if you can't sit, forget what I did this week. It might have been just at work or whatever. But I sat there for like 20 minutes, not on a phone. I was just outside, like, waiting. And everybody's on their phone. Like, just be bored. I'm serious, people. You got to get used to being bored again. Figure it out. like we're getting.
Eve's quite literally on the phone right now.
I'm playing the game.
But I'm not
Just
gonna tell her
bored,
that
man.
she shouldn't be on her phone.
You'll have an original thought.
It's okay. She's on her phone because Ryan, she's ordering our 1775 coffee. It's time to say goodbye and say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. I did put it on the right side this time because last time you complained it was on the left side. Unlike other brands,
Dave, you're on.
Unlike
the
other
left.
brands, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Visit 1775coffee.com. Use the promo code Studio40 to get 40% off any coffee subscription. This coffee comes in medium and dark roast. It also comes in peaberry. Ryan, do you remember what peaberry is? It's similar to Kona coffee. In other words, this stuff is premium. Click the link in the live chat or the description, or there's a QR code over Ryan's face. Go directly to 1775 and use the promo code Studio40 to get 40% off today. The FBI and the CIA forced them with Congress. I don't know what that was in.
Forced them with Congress for what?
Reference to. Dumbest conspiracy of the year. Trump staged the assassination.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Mike, I don't know if you want to chime back in and let me know what that was in reference to. I'm not entirely sure.
The Trump assassination.
Ryan, I got a couple other things real quick, and then
that spy.
And if you want to talk about cream pie cereal.
Oh yeah, fuck the spy. Cream pie cereal. Let's go. This is real hard hitting, David. I'm telling you. You talk about social engineering, David. Here we go. Pull up a picture of these motherfuckers and the super small window that Rumble gives you.
Come on, hold on. I just super quick right now. Nope. Everyone keep an eye since the election, which was rigged here recently in 2020, which I think I can say that on YouTube, right? YouTube changed their policy. They said we're allowed to say it was rigged again, probably because it was. Note that many nations internationally have also experienced.
Sorry, no.
have experienced some rigged elections. We got a video pulled on YouTube because a good chunk of them for sure. We had Britain and France most recently. Venezuela is going through some pretty wild stuff as well. I'm just saying, our election that's coming up this year, it ain't a day if I could tell you that. And then with that said, I am sick of I keep hearing this online, and it's driving me crazy. The idea that there's no place in America today for political violence. It's not a violent nation. We've never had violence. The nation was lived on political violence. Not to mention the fact, I was thinking about it. Anybody here, if they ever break the law, think about this. What happens? If you break the law, Ryan, what happens?
Depending on the law broken, David, I either get killed in the act of the illegal act, or I see a judge.
You see a judge, that's true. And the judge will do what? You'll go through a trial, right? Everyone has a right to a trial. And then what happens?
Supposedly. He'll try to talk me down to a plea deal for parking tickets.
So you're guilty and they say you go to jail. What? Okay.
I'll stop trying.
What happens if you don't agree? You don't want to go to jail. They say you have to go to jail for 3 years. You just say I don't want to. What happens?
I get a jury trial.
You don't really have a choice in the matter, right? You're going to jail because you can try to fight them, but you go through your trial. They say you're going to jail. You say no, I don't want to, and then a man with a gun takes you to jail.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not only was the nation founded on political violence, it's upheld through political violence. The entire judicial system is upheld with political violence. You don't get to choose whatever you want to do. If you don't pay your taxes and they say you're going to jail, you're going to jail. They will put you in jail, or they will harm you. Like those are the only options. Resisting arrest, right? That never seems to end well for anybody.
Especially George
Which is
Floyd,
interesting
David.
because this is right, Ryan. This is what kind of nation is this, Ryan? It's a democratic nation, right? We're founded on only votes. It has nothing to do with the republic. This is a nation that is very much based in the rule of law and a judicial system where everybody has rights. But the thing that's interesting is no matter what, no matter if you're here, if you're in China, if you're in some Eastern European nation, or
Eastern European, still funny to me.
In Russia or wherever you are, it's going to be political violence. Eastern European, I think, is hilarious. It usually just means Russian for those who are keeping score at home. For example, Ukraine, which is, Russian. No matter if you're in China or here, no matter what, there is a front, but at the end of the day, it winds down to the same thing. There's going to be violence. Like if you decide that you're not going to follow law, there is going to be violence that pursues you. So I just think it's just interesting to have all these people running around. There's no place for political violence. The entire nation is upheld. It was founded on political violence, and it's currently upheld with political violence. So don't let them tell you that. That's big. Ryan, do you want to talk about cream pie cereal, as you call it? By the way, we've had this at the house. We've had cream pie cereal here. Truthfully, it's not that good.
I want to just extend your thing about political violence, and not only is it upheld, it was created, but it will be saved with political violence, which is why you have the right to own firearms in this country. It's not for hunting. It's not even for self-defense against your neighbor. It's for self-defense against the government when they become fucking tyrannical. And I'm tired of that as well. The gun's not made to kill your neighbor and defend yourself against muggers. The only reason you have a gun is to defend your freedom from the very people trying to take it from you. That's the only reason you have a firearm. That's the only reason you're allowed the right for a firearm, is to defend your rights, to have rights. So, yeah, David, it's saved by political violence because that's the last linchpin, David, right? Because the other one is the First Amendment, as we always know. Here in the historical section of December 1773's weekly show, Dismantling Live Narratives in Live Time. David, cream pie cereal. I was at the store like all good, great Americans looking at the cereal that is made in Buffalo being more expensive than all the other cereals that were not made in Buffalo. I'm coming across, David, can you pull up a picture possibly, or do we have a box handy, considering you guys are a fellow?
I can certainly try to bring this up. But
it will actually be the scale.
Technology allows it.
Like
I'm trying to remember what the shit's called. It's like loaded. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Loaded
not
cereal.
stuffed, not stuffed cereal.
Yeah, Ryan defines it as cream.
I'm not a pervert. Look, I'm just fucking telling you right now. Because look at the box. Look at the fucking box.
Wait, let me see.
You've seen it. We've had the cereal before.
I thought it as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Which ones are you
ubiquitous.
talking about? There's a bunch.
Any of them.
Oh.
They're all of them. Just look at the marketing ploy. Look at those.
Can you
Vanilla cream pie loaded.
No, listen. This one can't.
Look at with vanilla cream filling.
No, this one's dripping. Oh, so is this one.
Yeah, look at it. He's got his hand
they're all
right there
dripping.
too. He's licking it, dude. Look at it. He's licking the edge of it. Large size. Giggity. 17, David.
This
it's
may
17. The
be.
box is 17.
I wouldn't put anything.
So fucking stupid.
I wouldn't put anything past anybody. Large size. I wouldn't put anything.
Look,
past
we got fucking pedophiles flying to private islands, David. We got the BBC. No, we got the BBC guy with 80 images of child pornography. The asshole that makes tricks is trying to trick your kids into cream pie cereals. I'm tired of it. This is sexualization of cereal brands, David. I'm not pervert. I'm not sexualized. This is bullshit. The dude's tongue is right there. It says vanilla cream.
That's licking it because they literally eat each other. They lick each other.
Yeah, cannibals. Yeah, believe the cannibal cereal.
Well, the
Even
cinnamon
better.
toast crunch. Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. I know what I'm looking at here. These people spend millions of dollars on psychology, developing smells and colors and fragrances and word combinations to get you to buy their shit. It's psychology and marketing. And I'm just supposed to just think that this is coincidence. The new cereal? Why didn't we have it before if it was such a marketing miracle?
Yeah, Eve did it. She was
Bullshit.
great. The cream pie cereal.
And David said, don't even taste good. No wonder, Dave. It's filled with vanilla cream. It's probably not as good after as it was before. Yeah, and I'm going to go down as the fucking crazy guy on the internet, mad that cereal is fucking subjugating sexuality to the youngest demographic of people. Who buys cereal, David?
Well,
who eats cereal? Children.
Look at this
Children.
one. Look how happy
Look at the next quick one.
Heart face.
Oh, this girl's all about it. Look at, she's excited to try her vanilla filling. Cookie Crisp loaded birthday cake. Holy, it's even better for you than steak, birthday. I bet, Ryan.
Oh, definitely better than steak, David.
How come they're all filled with vanilla cream?
Yeah, that's weird. There's no chocolate cream.
Well, you're not gonna...
Damn racist.
Well, the cream's the same color no matter what.
Allegedly.
Nesquik loaded.
What's wrong with him? He just has his little hand out.
He's getting dripped on right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
The bunny is literally taking cum shots.
Where?
Dude, look at how happy he is to hold that thing. Look at how happy he is to hold that thing.
That's what I look like too when I'm eating
cream pie.
With cream filling.
This is the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts.
I'm telling you.
I feel like this one looks more like me. The Cocoa Puffs bird, that's more like when you let me hold it.
Dude, no.
That's true.
It's pretty bad.
Joe Biden, the president sniffs children, and Kamala Harris was an escort for a guy that was on fucking TV. He was two girlfriends. Okay, they got fucking cream pie cereal. They're selling it to your kids. It's an underlying narrative to sexualize kids. I'm over it. Yeah, just loaded. It's just loaded.
I'm looking for better pictures, but that's it. These two look really excited about it.
Which one? What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at all of them. There's more than I thought there were, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of cream pies, David.
A lot of cream pies out there.
I don't see what you're looking at. They all just look like cereal boxes.
Yeah, to the untrained eye.
The worst
genius.
The worst part is I do see it. I'm just maybe still hoping for the best in humanity.
Come on, David, come on. They're telling me to not have kids because the Earth's too hot. Life isn't at conception, but we all come out of life. Like, how much? Come on,
yeah, but
David.
you're not going to talk people into cream
David,
pies if you're trying to reduce the population.
Is doing bad, it's your fault, but they print my money into fucking oblivion. The very cereal is poison, but they tell me it's good as a healthy start to the day for breakfast. But sugar is terrible for you in the doses that we're getting it. Just buy better food. The fucking food's expensive.
Yeah, I feel like look at what they just released.
Ryan, processed food leads to dementia. You should eat organic food. Reptar cereal. Holy fuck. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I mean, admittedly, they are getting dripped on holding cream pies right now. It's not the best.
Cereal.
This one's. This one's really giving it a good lick.
Jamie, you should just clip that. Admittedly, they're holding cream pies getting dripped.
I mean, if you go to their freaking actual like boxes of cereal, it's just as bad. Like, look at.
Dude, the Camel cigarette guy. The Camel cigarette pack. The dude had a dick in his nose, but the cream pie cereal isn't.
It was but I think that was just a camel nose, right? Don't they look like dicks?
Yeah, and the penis on the Little Mermaid little castle, David.
Ooh, that's a good question. Have you tried Bootios?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's like a wrestling thing. I don't know if the cereal's real though.
Yeah, it is. You can buy it.
You can buy Bootios.
Yep.
Holy fuck!
I hope it's a female wrestler, David.
Feel good, Ryan? You feel good now?
No,
No,
Yo,
it's
I
not.
just
It's three
jacked-
dudes, 3 black dudes.
I just jacked your whole cereal aisle. Next time you go shopping, you're like, motherfucker. This fucking...
Take,
All right, what
take,
are we doing?
take father off the birth certificate. It's fine. We won't even have to be responsible for it.
I can't wait to just father millions of
What
kids.
about
I
actual
never have
cream
to be
pies?
responsible.
The food cream pies.
Is this a
Yeah,
comment?
Ryan, couldn't it just be regular cream pies? Yeah.
You know, I love that people try to out-rationalize a bunch of fucking psychopaths. Look, I get on here every week, okay? I get on here every week with Dave and show you that these guys are psychopaths directing you and your family, and you're leading them. And I keep being told that maybe you're looking at this wrong. No, I'm really not. Kind of not. These guys meet on islands and fuck kids and burn little sage bushes and scream like children are being sacrificed to a fucking Oladic god that literally means death and all these other things. But I'm the weird one. These billionaires that fly in private jets that emit more carbon dioxide than my car and me and my family will in our entire lives are telling me I can't drive my car because it's killing the earth. But the same guys buying up all of the fucking farmland, but they're telling me to not eat processed food, but all of our food is being processed. But I still have to be told that I'm looking at this wrong? Gotcha. I'm the sane one here, people. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You guys are wrong on this. I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. I didn't start a podcast to keep getting told lies by the same people that you're telling me to not believe anymore. The shit you're saying is the shit they've been saying. They're wrong. So are you. It's called social engineering. They told you gender's a construct. They told you that they can make you believe that sex is made up by society. Why wouldn't your cereal program you to accept cream pies? It's called propaganda. It's called social
Ryan, you got to
engineering.
clarify.
It's called psychology.
Ryan, you got to clarify. We're
called
on
selective
YouTube,
breeding.
Ryan.
I'm the one that's looking at it wrong.
Gender's a
you
construct.
guys aren't looking.
Sex is
Dude,
science.
they spent billions of dollars studying what color does to your appetites. Are you fucking serious? I'm the one looking at it wrong. I've been to paint school and seen what they do with one color. Do you know the lengths and the amount of material that multi-billion-dollar corporations waste and spend on R&D to get you to buy their stuff over the other stuff? Serious question. You think that's for nothing? You think it's just for a couple more dollars? You just think PPG wants you to buy their color car more? You think that's all that's about? You don't think that's not militarized? Everything is plugged into the military. They paint shit a certain color so you buy it or hate it or love it or destroy it. The scent can change your mindset. They can trigger a memory with scent. Or do they study that for no reason too, David? They're just putting fucking... Elon Musk is just putting Neuralink in a guy with disabilities for no reason, right, David? He's not going to go the other way with that. He's just going to stop at arms not working. Not make super arms, right, David? I'm the one looking at it wrong. But these people spend billions and trillions, and they employ armies and fleets of people all over the globe. They have fucking nuclear generators running artificial intelligence, but I'm the one looking at it wrong. I thought of this week, David. I want to know this number. I want to go down to Congress and ask them. I want to know how much electricity is generated just for people to stare at their fucking cell phones for 8 hours a day. How much milliwattage, how much kilowattage, how many billions of watts of electricity are outputted for outsource for me to just look at Instagram and girls shaking their asses? But I'm told by those people that spend all their time doing that I'm the one looking at it wrong. No, you guys are wrong on this. It's cream pie cereal. If you don't think they're cream pie in your cereal, I got a bridge in Buffalo to sell you. I'm tired of playing. You think I like getting on here and getting pissed off at society that I can't change for no fucking reason? You think I do this for fun? You think I feel obligated to come on here and see the shit that I see because I do feel a little crazy trying to psychoanalyze a cereal brand. But they have they already did that. That's what marketing is. That's what graphic design is. That's what all this shit is. David and I get on here every week for years now, telling you that they're doing this to you. I'm the one that's looking at it wrong. They have fucking pedophile islands. Do you know 9/11 was an inside job? There was more information this week. The guy that helped orchestrate it cut a plea deal. I thought we don't negotiate with terrorists. But then again, we're ran by psychopaths, and they tell you exactly what they're doing. Decembertainment this week, David.
Mike's asking about actual cream pies.
Actual what? Cream pies?
Actual cream pies. He said, what about actual cream pies? But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think cream pie was a thing before cream pie was a thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, dude, cream pie's only been in the lexicon for like 5 years, dude. Like 5-10 years. Like, dude, here's the thing. They market for millennials because we're the largest generation, but we're also the ones that are old enough to buy all this stuff now. They sexualized us. You don't think they're doing it to the kids? What's up?
No, they very, very well could be. It's kind of hard to say. I'm going to put this over on the left so as we do not upset Ryan, because I would hate to upset Ryan. We're going to talk about a little bit 5G here. Who's in control of America's nukes? Meanwhile, we have Russian ships off the coast of Florida and full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel. The world is at its most unstable point since World War II. Ryan, we talked about this. We're, 30 seconds to midnight? Except now with nuclear weapons, the stakes are 10 times higher, which, disagree with that. How do people like you and I stay safe? Every prepper needs to have RadioGuard ASE, the only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Only the feds have it until now. That's why we partnered with 5G Free, the only company in the world that has a supply of RadioGuard and the ability to prescribe it prophylactically. Ooh. Get their radiation emergency kit with RadioGuard ASE, potassium iodide, Zofran, and is that Geiger counter? There's simply no other tool in your arsenal to protect against every, which it's coming. World War III is here. Go to a 5gfree.com/studio and use code studio to save 10%. We have a radiation kit, and so should you. That's 5gfree.com/studio, code studio. I feel like that's when we build a can't have radiation. Come on. It's going to be like Fallout out there.
I love they call it 5G because of the 5G towers. No, completely good for your health. Don't worry about all the electromagnetism and all the fields of energy that come off that thing. It's completely fine for you, just like the lead-based paint and the microplastic in your dick, because it's only millions of parts per million. Neil deGrasse fucking Tyson. I hate that guy. I hate that guy.
Just radio
He's
waves,
a plant.
right?
He's a super smart cop. That guy's a super smart cop, and his job is to just lie to you. He's a federal agent designed to lie to you. It's not that he's lying about science, but he's designed to lie to you, to keep doubling down on the narratives and keep selling you shit. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. Parts per million doesn't matter. My dick's got parts per million in it, dude. My cells are parts per million. Whatever. Dude, how did the Trump assassination?
Ryan,
get
before
trumped by
you
Kamala
hop into
Harris
this,
being the DNC fucking candidacy? Have we thought about this? Has anybody else noticed that we went from a guy getting shot at that's
because
running
it's
for
exciting,
president?
Ryan. Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited
to
about this?
to the Olympics and the gay Olympics, to trans athletes, to Kamala Harris getting the DNC nomination when she got 0 votes. There was 0 special election, nothing. Biden just endorsed her with a sheet of paper and a phone call that could have been AI leaked, apparently. I don't know, dude. This is nuts. She didn't get any votes. She wasn't voted in 2020 by a single delegate. But I'm supposed to believe that they unanimously throw all their money behind there because they're trying to bail out the Democrats from having a shit campaign and destroying a great country. The country was destroyed by Trump. Okay, I heard that with Bush and Obama. Bread was $4 under Trump. It's $8 under Joe Biden. Figure it out. It's not hard. Dr. Phil interviewed him with very conservative numbers. Go listen to it. Or are we only going to trust from the mainstream, David, the very mainstream that's paid by the other mainstream to talk mainstream talking points? But you guys are the educated ones, right? I'm looking into it too much. The Severtainment this week. I finally
Ryan, before you go into
sorry, go ahead.
Wait. I think he's been saying this a lot throughout the show. Mike says, don't we defend somebody that went to Epstein's Island and married somebody from an island? An island? An island.
I'm assuming this is about Trump.
Yeah.
I would love to know how you know that Donald Trump was on the island. Serious question, because there's no flight logs, right? Nothing's been released about Epstein's Island. I'm not saying that he hasn't or hasn't been there, but I have not seen any information. I've heard rumors and speculation from people. I've heard rumors and speculations from people who all they do is control information and hold on to information until it's relevant to the story that's at hand in the media. Look, do you also not think that maybe they brought people there to compromise them and not everybody is... Okay. Keep going then. Now that you got your Trump hate
that's a great question.
Now that you got hold on, that's
hold on, that's a great point though, because if you create a scenario where some people to the island are pedophiles, if you had a pedophile ring, right? If you had 100 people who went there and only 3 of them were pedophiles, right? Part of the sex ring. The other 97% of people now look suspicious as pedophiles. You don't need everybody who went to the island in the sex ring. I'm not saying he was or wasn't. I have no idea.
Yeah. What if you've seen something there and now you feel like complicit? The Nazis used to make people murder people together. It's called blood brothers. They had and it was because people that commit crimes together are more likely to defend the guy they committed the crime with, because they know that if that guy goes under, they're going to go under. I'm not saying that's not what happened with Trump. Look, if you're going fucking touching kids, I don't give a fuck who you are. Get them out of there. But the guys that are accused of touching kids aren't the ones getting shot at when they're running for president. They're not getting bankrupted when they're running for president. They're not being told that every lie in the book and the most dark, dirty shit I've ever heard in my life in politics and history has been about Donald Trump. Even though there has been stuff proven through conspiracies and documentaries and leaks and all these other things that we have to go through to get other stuff about other people. It all comes out it's like diarrhea for Donald Trump, but it's constipation for everybody else. Why is that? And once again, I'm not just doing
that's a good point though. Like if you had evidence, that Donald Trump was there and committing activity that many suspect was happening on the island, confirmed on the island, you wouldn't try to put him in jail for paying off a porn star, and you wouldn't try to shoot him, right? You wouldn't have to take him out in that way. You would have all the evidence necessary. He's a child. Oh my God, is that not the worst thing you could be? How easy would it be to put him in jail with evidence from Epstein's Island?
Why would they release Grab Her by the Pussy if they had him doing stuff with kids? Because serious question.
There was a
serious
hype
question,
that,
Dave.
Donald Trump said the N-word. Donald Trump said the N-word. We have it on audio, and then the audio never got released. That doesn't matter. The audio didn't exist. It never got released because all the headline needed to say was that Donald Trump said the N-word, and we have the footage. Put it out. Put it out there. I'd love to hear it.
How it works. It's how it works. It's how it works. This is psychology, people. Like, look, I might be wrong and be brainwashed into everything's a conspiracy. I'd rather think that way than think that everything I'm being told is the truth. And I know most people don't operate. I'm not saying that you're accepting the mainline narrative, but I'm being serious. Let's push into the Trump thing more. Because it's never made any sense to me. It has never made any sense. If they showed you they have, like I said, they use the spy grid to hold information and then they use it to blackmail you whenever they want. That was literally Grab Her by the Pussy video in 2016. That whole thing, that video is from the 90s, the 2000s or something. So they had a video for 10 years, but they waited to release it till they needed to. That's odd. Nobody thought. That's like your ex-girlfriend. Your ex-girlfriend. That's like your wife referencing the time you may have had an affair like 30 years ago. And keeps bringing it up. Like, why is this even relevant right now? Because he's running for president. Because he's running for... Well, you have all this information. If they have all the stuff, release it. And here's the thing, right? Because we were always told before Donald Trump, David, the idea that somebody in politics would be this corrupt person that's raping kids was never in the natural spotlight as far as something that was possible. That was exclusively left for Alex Jones and all the conspiracy theorists on the internet. But ever since Donald Trump entered politics, apparently he's a QAnon and all the conspiracies, and he's a rapist and everything else, and he's defrauding college and $5,000 in Facebook ads and everything in between. They bankrupted him. He's lied about his wealth. He's a felon, everything. But they do it for him. But everybody believes that. But if I said that about...
the spotlight for 30 years, 40 years.
But I tell you that the Bohemian Grove and the Bilderberg group's been going on, and George Soros and Bill Gates, you're like, nah, that ain't them. But Donald Trump is definitely all those things. Like, I have a problem here. At least be consistent, dude. Like, at least be consistent, because the problem is most of the people that are in this, at least in the space of the conspiracy realm, that point to certain people, they're all left-leaning people. They really are. The worst of the worst are left-leaning people. Now, I know about the Koch brothers, and I know about the Warhawks. I know about the people in the right wing and the Bush dynasty. Believe me, Prescott Bush was Hitler's lawyer. Okay? And he was paid in Nazi gold. That's why the Bushes are rich. I know, believe me. But the ones cutting dicks off kids are sitting on the left right now, doing the devil's work. And once again, you have to ask yourself why. But if Trump's been on the island, release it, dude. Push into that. You would think, once again, if Trump was on those islands, we'd have the picture. Fuck, we would have the picture if Trump was on the island with the kid. It doesn't add up, dude. It doesn't add up. And everything's all at once. The whole apparatus, even Fox News. Go listen to Trump on an independent podcast. I don't know what to say. Like, you got to make your own decision. You have to be discerning. But the idea that you think that you're actually should listen 100% to any of this stuff is arbitrary. It's just odd. There's more and more info coming out about the assassination as it goes on. Just like how bad the bot's job was and just how bad those people failed at their job. There's that video angle that literally you can see the dude crawling. It's terrible. The Olympics in general, I don't know how America didn't get a gold in shooting. I really don't know. Dave, look up the $1 trillion coin quick, please.
$1 trillion coin.
Yeah, $1 trillion legal memo coin. Aerosmith retires. I don't know if you caught that, Dave. Steven Tyler apparently has been sick. Aerosmith retired. I'm not the biggest Aerosmith fan. I just think it's odd that we're seeing. I think it's one of those things like a cultural thing when like some of the biggest rock stars that inspire all of our rock.
You can buy a $1 trillion coin on eBay for $350.
Yeah, there was something about there's supposed to be $1 trillion coin, or they conceptualized it. Deadpool versus Wolverine, David.
You know what? Yeah. No.
How was it?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. It just looks funny. Honestly, I don't really have time for movies and all that, but it looks funny. Ryan Reynolds is pretty cool as Deadpool. I already talked about the trade deal on 9/11 that a terrorist was set free. Plus, you're rich by dementia by 20%. Stop eating red meat, they said, and processed meat specifically. All our meat is processed. But keep blaming the meat.
But all the meat's processed, right?
But keep blaming the meat, David. Fantasy football, Dave. You got your fantasy football started? Or are you not doing fantasy this year?
No, I'm actually not doing it this year.
Okay.
No.
Why?
I don't feel like it. Too much shit. $1 trillion legal memo. FOIA files obtained a series of memos from the Justice Department that shows a large denomination platinum coin was discussed at the highest levels of government. Who would have $1 trillion coin, though?
I don't know. Are they going to devalue the currency that much?
Well, I mean, no, you would have to, because nobody on Earth has $1 trillion in liquid cash. Even multi-billionaires, like even Elon Musk, probably couldn't just bust out $1 billion in cash. Like, these people don't have liquid cash like that. It's just not how those people operate.
I got told by a 20-year-old the other day that we shouldn't have billionaires and we should just take their money and redistribute it. And funny part is his parents make $400,000 a year. Interesting. Yeah, $1 trillion coin, David. I didn't read this whole thing.
We shouldn't have 100,000 right?
Yeah, hey. The $1 trillion legal thing. The first thing I thought about is they'll devalue our currency so much. This is the whole joke I would always say, that I can't wait till we all make $1 million an hour for minimum wage. Hyperinflation. You know, like, not saying this is what it is. I could be completely wrong, but that was the joke I thought of when I first seen this exact thing that you have here. I don't know when this article's from. Do you have a date on here? Just for the record.
It says from 2 days ago.
Okay, so that when I seen it, it wasn't a dated article.
August 2nd, 24. But I do remember specifically, we talked about something similar to this like forever ago, because they were talking about printing these or creating these so they could pay the national debt off, which I thought was just hilarious. The idea that you would print your way out of the debt doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, I mean, I guess it would in theory if you could like get $1 trillion worth of titanium, but how much money would it cost to get $1 trillion worth of titanium? It's going to cost more than $1 trillion to mine $1 trillion value of titanium or whatever, right? In theory, like in order to get $1 trillion worth of titanium, it probably costs you $3 trillion.
Yeah, you can't just tell somebody that you owe money to that this thing is worth this much money and then give it to them and expect them to just wipe your debt. Like, oh, trust me, it's $1 trillion coin. It says right on the coin. And China's gonna be like, oh, I guess it's $1 trillion. Like that.
That's literally
that is not how that's gonna work.
It's literally what they do with our paychecks, David, which you just described. You can't tell somebody that your money's still worth $1 when it's not. Well, on Friday, Dave, $1 is $1. I just need a lot more dollars now. Yeah, we got to raise minimum wage because they keep devaluing our wages. That's odd that those things are fucking tied together. Keep printing money. Football season has started. I cannot wait to watch Josh Allen wreck the entire fucking football league. Kobe Bryant statue of him and his daughters were released by the Lakers. Did you see that?
No, that's cool though.
Yeah, it's beautiful. There was I didn't like watch the ceremony. I just caught the picture on my ex, but the wife and the kids went down there. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I figured out our house.
That's awesome, baby. And I think now more than ever, just to see families stand together through struggle is pretty remarkable. So, Dave, your X account, you're really pissing off Elon, huh? You're trying?
Well, listen, he bought it, said it was free speech. It's not free speech, so.
Why is it not free speech, David? Do you want to share with people?
I'm not trying. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting, Ryan. Do you remember a while ago on the show we talked about how Linda Yaccarino, the CEO of X, said, yeah, we're going to start cracking down on certain things, right? And we joked that, just in time for election season. So now I'm seeing constant posts of limited visibility, which I think is interesting because that's the tactics used by YouTube, right? The limited visibility. The other thing that's interesting is it's very selective. Some people get away with saying certain things and some people do not.
Yeah, that's what's odd is like that limited thing is just because you say that you're limiting the post doesn't make it okay that you're censoring it or that you're throttling it or that you're downplaying it and out. Whatever bullshit word you want to use to masquerade you censoring somebody's speech. The very people that are saying the internet is a right are telling me I don't have the right to say anything on the internet. It's just so whack, dude. It's just so we have a very twisted sense of what a right is. But you have the right to say anything on the internet. I'm not waiting for the government to approve that, David. And yes, they are censoring everything. You saying that there's limited sensibility is you openly admitting that you're censoring speech, and it's not okay. I don't care what the speech is. If it hurts somebody, they'll go to jail. Not that. Why is this different than real life? People, you're so empowered with the internet. Like, it's just so odd. PBD, he had this video, Dave, that he broke down how many podcasters there are. And podcasting basically peaked in 2020 as far as the amount of users worldwide. And basically the top 5 and 10 podcasts, the top 10 slots get like 80% of all viewership of all podcasts. So there's still plenty of room to grow here at our program. It's not discouraging. There's a reason why the top takes what they take, because they are the cutting edge. They are the torchbearers. We've talked about this. This is why we're so hard on Rogan and people. And but it was just cool to see PBD break it down. Not to mention PBD is on a hot streak right now. He's actually getting more viewership on YouTube than CNN is. So this is just another win. It's also just showing how powerful we are as the independent media. And more importantly, like I sent Dave a video, Alex was on Russell Brand, and he was actually talking about that we're winning, and we need to not let them get us down, and we all need to make videos, and we all need to talk about it, and we all need to be engaged in the social and the cultural revolution that's happening. It's hitting the voting stage, but it's really happening. There's a mass awakening of Christianity, for example. I know we're seeing a lot of different things on different fronts. There's the men and women battle that is going on in our generation, not to mention the younger generation. We have all the chemical warfare, the psychological warfare, and then it's just like in general, life's hard enough as it is. But once again, it's just inspiring. It's cool to do this, Dave. It's cool that we've stuck longer on podcasting than most podcasts will ever. We've made more podcasts than 99.9999% of podcasters will ever make in all of human history. And it's also cool that we've come far enough that we have ads now that actually pay for the program, and we have people that tune in regularly, and I appreciate you guys more than anything, and you know that. But it's just cool. It's cool to see the medium change and grow, and it's also cool to like know that there is still enough space for everybody. Like there is a pocket. So
what was the figure you sent me? Something about
there's amount of podcasters.
Million podcasters, and like 25% of them or something are crime, true crime.
Yeah. Out of all the
Do it with me.
No, well that was kind of the thing.
Eve
Politics
wants to do a true crime show.
the politics is like the second largest, I think. But yeah, like the top three, the number one amount of podcasts, the most podcasts are about true crime. It's a fourth, 125% of all podcasts are about true crime. So. But PBD had a, and then politics is up there. And he had a great breakdown because what he said was that it actually is showing, it's actually showing what people are interested in. So true crime fantasize is about females mostly.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
But politics being popular is really showing that, we always hear that people aren't smart enough to talk about politics, but it's actually the opposite because there's a lot of people tuning into these shows and programs to get educated on very in-depth things. So don't let them lie to you. That was the point of the Russell Brand video with Alex. My December entertainment this week. Dave, I got a new job. I work for the union of electricians now. And I'm working on a solar farm. So I'm not going to get into everything that I've been kind of doing with the union and all that. I just want to get it on record that it's should be a great opportunity for me, but I'm mostly interested in how all these solar farms and how this all works. And I'm referencing it. My mom just told me the one they built in Depew that she can sign up and she can actually get a credit off of her electric bill for being put on the solar panel grid. So I wonder how this is going to start affecting our lives. Like on a sunny day, will my mom's energy go down or her, and like how is this? So it's just cool. I'm literally building the world as always, but I just reference it mostly because there's a lot of crazy stories I heard. One of them, like I said, about the kid, he said there should be no billionaires. I'm not going to get into that. It's we've already gone far enough, but it is interesting and it should be a good opportunity. But my true December entertainment, this is other than the Peterson on Rogan, which was great. There's a podcast called Man Talks, David, which I think you should turn into maybe sometimes. And it's basically like a men's mental health channel. So Man Talks, it's all one word on YouTube. The guy was on Chris Williamson. That's how I found out about him. And I listened to a couple of videos. There's just some stuff, David, is stuff that we already know in practice, but that it's just good to check in every now and again and just remind yourself the meditations and all that stuff. But the thing I'm realizing is I'm getting older. My parents are aging. And there will come a day, Dave, we all got to deal with it. And I think now more in my age, it's more crucial for me to get closer to certain people in certain ways and have to make new friendships and deeper friendships and connect different because a lot of the support system that I've grown up with is changing. And it happens a lot to a lot of men. And we have to stay ahead of it. So, but I guess as for this, but yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the weekly show. As always, I appreciate David, you for your time more than anything, and everybody for tuning in. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone.